Thanks for joining us here on Weather Underground. Mike Bettis, Colleen Coyle, Dr. Rick Knapp. A lot to cover for you here, especially in the west. We've got an emergency going on right now with heavy rain and snowmelt causing a lot of issues with flooding.
Yeah, 2 flash flood emergencies now there for parts of the foothills of the Sierras. We're breaking that down, as well as the potential of these storms across the entire United States. Dr. Knapp watching for multiple rounds of snow for the Northeast and even a waterlogged South.
Yeah, because Winter Storm Sage is going to cross the entire country after what it's doing in California, and we've got the potential for it ending with a early to midweek next week nor'easter. Even if you don't get a lot of snow in a place like New York City, you're going to get a lot of rain and a lot of wind, and there are going to be some coastal flooding issues too.
A lot of big weather stories grabbing the headlines over the next week or so, but front and center today, the issues that we're dealing with on the West Coast.
Yeah, look at this. This single picture says so much about what the threat is in California right now. Take a look at that. This is a road in Springville, or what once was a road in Springville. This is just south of Fresno, completely washed away as we have the snow melt as well as the multiple inches of rain that are contributing to this. And take a look to your left. You see that power line pole? That is not because of any wind. That is actually the force of the water that has bent that pole. And unfortunately, Mike, we are looking to see many more images out of California that mimic this.
Unfortunately, we are. This could be a devastating event in California, and potentially life-threatening event if we're not smart. So doing the right thing, being prepared is going to go a long way in helping you out here. I'm going to give you kind of a big picture overview of what's going on. This gives you an idea of what we're dealing with. All right, so California, way over here on the right-hand side of your screen. What we're getting is basically a pineapple express, as we would call it. A huge atmospheric river flowing here, really aiming all that moisture right at California. But you can make the argument there could be some little branches of moisture here as well as here. So in some essences, 3 opportunities for moisture to aim at the Golden State. Of course, there is really heavy rain. Coastal, inland, and in the foothills. And our snow rates are going way up. Snowfall locations are going way up in elevation now, and rain is then following as well. So last week, and the week before even, we had snow elevations as low as about 1,500 feet. Now they've gone up above 8,000 feet. And so that means places that have significant snow right now are also getting some really significant rain. A lot of rain here in San Francisco and the Central Coast. Look at all the rain that's falling for us right now in the foothills. Numerous flash flood warnings and a couple of flash flood emergencies taking place right now. The newest one in Kernville. In Tulare County, we've got issues here. Catastrophic flooding being observed right now, and seeking higher ground is where you need to go. And do not be on the roadways if you don't have to be, because as we showed you in some of the pictures there, that we've got roadways that are being washed out by truly raging floodwaters right now. Unsurvivable floodwaters if you get caught in them. In Springville, reports of 190 flooded at Coffee Camp. Landslide blocking the eastbound lanes of State Route 190 at Pleasant Oak. So a lot of issues for us right now. And so many of you could drive yourself into that danger. So if you feel like you're safe at home, you're not by a body of water, maybe you're not directly downslope of a hill, then I think you just want to stay put and just ride this one out. Here we are in Kern and Tulare counties, and especially here in Kernville, we have a flash flood emergency going on right now. Catastrophic flooding being observed at this moment. So again, the issues could be ongoing for the remainder of the day. And I noticed, if you look at the radar, like, well, there's nothing really falling for us right now. The rain has really let up. Everything could be coming from upstream, all right? So watch for that to come downstream to where you may be, because heavy rain falling above you in elevation is going to be a bad deal. Notice where some of the rain may be falling. And all these are all the snow levels, all right? And some of the heaviest of snowpack is up here highlighted in this white or gray color. So we've got rain that's falling on top of these heavy snowpacks. And so this is rapidly melting some of the snow, in addition to just the heavy rain that's coming down. So all that's flowing downstream as gravity takes over here, Colleen. Catastrophic reports of flooding right now, and it may only get worse and expand throughout the day.
Yeah, we're already seeing problems in Northern California. We're looking at Highway 12 in Santa Rosa underneath all of the murky, muddy water, all because of this guy, this atmospheric river that's just continuing to bring that onslaught of moisture across parts of California. So not only that, we have the roads that are getting washed away completely under the water, can't even see them. And then you have down trees, saturated soils, leading to just some wind that can knock the trees down, or the force of the water pushing the trees down. And so we have images like this, a lot of debris that could be clogging the drains and adding to this flood threat. So I want to bring in Dr. Rick Knapp to break down more of the details, because of course we also have that high risk for flash flooding, Dr. Knapp, and that is not not issued very often.
No, it's not. This is a really, really dangerous day, and it continues into tonight, into tomorrow morning, especially in those red areas, but also a significant risk of flooding over a much larger area, coastal ranges, and especially the foothills of the Sierras here in central California. But this is just day and night number one of a really significant flood event. These watches go all the way through Sunday for much of the state of California, and when you look at the rainfall totals between now and next Tuesday, not every day is going to be the same, but when you add it all up, several inches of rainfall, and that is not, as we've said, the only source of the floodwaters. A lot of that will continue to fall on the lower elevation snowpack, and the more you get rain onto the snowpack, the more susceptible that snowpack gets to melting with subsequent rainfall. Again, here's the business end of Winter Storm Sage, but we've got another system moving in to follow in its path along with that upper level low that started off north of Hawaii. They're all combining to produce this southwesterly flow, and as long as that pattern stays in place, you're going to continue to bring moisture. So here comes another one. So this pitching machine of systems off of Western Canada feeding California with moisture is going to continue until we finally get a ridge about next Wednesday or so, and then maybe the subsequent systems stay farther to the north. So looking at the moisture component, again, with that series of systems coming from the north, the moisture flow into California will continue all weekend long. So we've got the risk of flash flooding continuing tomorrow night into Sunday night into Monday. And again, each day that risk could be refined and could go up past the weekend. Again, with that last system coming through all the way into Tuesday, Monday could be a particularly dangerous day. And again, the risk could go up. But once we get past Tuesday, things finally calm down. Colleen?
And nearly half a foot of snow in Wausau, Wisconsin, Dr. Nab, just today.